Good day, I am Angela Marcelo Pinili from AB English Block 1, and today I am going to tackle the Unit 3 about the morphology. This unit has two objectives. Those are break word into morphemes, find subparts of the word to create new word meaning, and doing morphological analysis. So what is morphology? Morphology is the study of the internal structure of words, and the word form is a concrete as it occurs in real speech or text. Word is a string of characters separated by spaces in writing. Under morphology, we have morphemes. Morphemes are the smallest meaningful constituents of words because words are composed of one or more morphemes. For example, the dancer, classwork, and kindly, and unbreakable. Because as we divide the word apart, morpheme exists. And we may notice that every morpheme has already its own meaning because when it divides apart and give its real meaning, like the word unbreakable that has three morphemes, it literally changed the meaning like an, which considered as independently meaningful, that can be not. The morph is the term morph. The term morpheme is used both to refer to an abstract entity and its concrete realization in speech or writing. The term morph is used to refer to the concrete entity while the term morpheme is reserved for the abstract entity only. The allomorph are variants of the same morpheme. Morphs corresponding to the same morpheme, they have the same functions but different forms unlike the synonyms. They usually cannot be replaced one by the other. So, let's proceed to word formation process in English. We have root and affix. Root is the nucleus of the word that affixes attach to. In English, most of the roots are free in some language. That is less common. We have here a affix, a morpheme that is not a root. It is always bound. The suffix, prefix, infix, and the circumfix. Suffix follows the root, for example, the walking. Prefix precedes the roots. Example, frites and andan. Infix occurs inside the roots, which is in Tagalog, for example, sumayaw. The root word here is sayaw. The circumfix occurs on both sides of the root. For example, anbiren. The root word here is beef. You know, the affixes we just talked about are distinctive in one more way. They are acting in a particular way when attached to the base. Either they are giving grammatical information or they are creating new word. We have also the inflection and derivation. There are two rather different kinds of morphological relationship among words for which two technical terms are commonly used. The inflection is the process by which affixes combine with roots to indicate basic grammatical categories such as tense or plurality. For example, the dogs and the walk. Inflection is viewed as the process of adding very general meanings to existing words, not as the creation of new words, while the derivation is the process by which affixes combine with roots to create new words. For example, the watcher. Derivation is viewed as using existing words to make new words. For example, magic, magical, magician. Derivation tends to affect the meaning of the word, while inflection tends to affect only its syntactic functions. Derivation tends to be more irregular, there are more gaps, the meaning is more idiosyncratic and less compositional. There is another way to create new words called compound word, a word that is formed from two or more simple or complex words. For example, White House, keychain, hacksaw, and many more. Those words are called compounds. They contain two or more words that may be more accurately two or more words or all one or none of which may be bound. There is an alternative approach to classify compounds in terms of the semantic relationship between the compound and its head. Those are the endocentric compounds, where heads of compounds are typically the rightmost constituents. For example, the traffic cop. Next is the exocentric compounds, where the compounds names are subtypes but the type is not represented by either the head or the modifier in the compound. For example, the dead head. Next, the coordinative compounds, which both elements are heads, each contribute equally to the meaning of the whole and neither is subordinate to the other. For example, the bitter sweet. Words are notoriously difficult entities to define both in universal and in language-specific terms. Like most linguistic entities, they look into directions upward toward larger units of which they are parts toward phrases and downward toward their constituents, morphemes. Other sources of words besides derivation and confounding language make use of coining, abbreviating, blending, and borrowing to create new words. The abbreviations involves the shortening of existing words to create other words, usually informal versions of the original. For example, the prof from professor and the doc from doctor. Next, the acronym, pronounced as a sequence of letter names. For example, PHIVOLCS from Philippine Volcanology and Seismology. Then the blending. It involves taking two or more words, removing parts of each, and joining the residues together to create a new word whose form and meaning are taken from the source words. For example, smog derives from smoke and fog, means a combination of two substances. Borrowing. It involves copying a word that originally belonged in one language into another language. For example, the Mexican cuisine like taco and burrito have become current in American English and are spreading to other English dialects. So let's proceed to free versus bound. Morphemes can be either single words, which is free morphemes, or parts of words, which is bound morphemes. Free morphemes can stand alone. Example, the cat, ran, teacher, mother, gentle. Free morphemes may appear with other bound morphemes attached to them, crucially, though they don't need to have other morphemes to them. While the bound morpheme only occurs as part of a word. Example, the re, est, in, ran, the misplaced, the reader, and the dogs. Remember that if two free morphemes are joined together, they create a compound word. Words that are a great way to introduce morphology, the study of words parts. So that's all. And again, I am Angela Marcelo Pinili from AB English Block 1 Second Year. Thank you.